Live from Los Angeles on this Sunday night, I'm Eric Weber. This is Midnight Movie Talk as we get into the box office results here on this Sunday. Sunday night's one of my favorite shows to do because we have so much to talk about when it comes to box office. And ultimately, it's really about the health of the theatrical system right now. I mean, it is healthy. We are doing really well, even though some are going to say that Jurassic World Dominion, it underperformed at 140 and change. But let's pull up the THR article. I think it's very solid, very nice summary of what happened here over the weekend with Jurassic World Dominion. Here it is. This is from THR, Pamela McClintock, who's a very solid film reporter for THR. So here we go, 143.4. And I know some of you are saying that's an underperform. But when I put this, on Twitter, my prediction, box office prediction, what do you think is going to happen with Dominion this coming weekend? And guess what won? 100 to 124.9 million. So the majority of people thought this was going to be under 125. This is above that number by 20 million or so, right? If you go to the 125, 145-ish. So this is fine, okay? Is it as big as the first Jurassic World? No, at 208. Is it as big as Fallen Kingdom? No, at 148. But it's very close. And let me tell you what happened. Let's go through the article, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what happened this weekend and why it ended up at 143.4. Let's scroll down because we're going to talk about Maverick in a minute. So it is the second biggest opening of the quote pandemic era. But listen, I've told you this before, guys. Let's stop talking about the pandemic era. It's done, okay? It really is. Look at the numbers and look at what we're seeing for these films. It is effectively over, and we need to stop talking about it as such. When I go to the movie theater, I was there on Saturday night to see the crowds, and I saw a really small film we're going to talk about here in just a little bit, which I loved. But you see people back, the same numbers and the same feel of 2019. So why are we still saying pandemic era? I really am over it. I think we need to drop it. So I don't want to talk about that anymore because I don't think that's pertinent. It's not, it's done, okay? So let's get into this. 143. Hold on, 143.4. And so here's the thing. A lot of you are like, oh, the critics ravaged the film, as Pamela says here. This is true. I mean, this is, what is it? Rotten Tomatoes, I believe it's like at a 34%. But when I watched this film last Monday and I sat through Dominion, I said, this is a film that the average moviegoer will generally like. And look what it got, an A- cinema score. How many times have we talked about cinema score here on Midnight Movie Talk? It's all about the average moviegoer going into a movie and saying, this gives me generally what I want from a film. A- is not as strong as A, obviously, not as strong as A+, which we saw with Maverick, No Way Home. It's not that strong a film, okay? But it's also not terrible. I think that 34% number is really misleading. I mean, listen, if you're going to... Don't get me started. I was going to go down the path of Crimes of the Future being 34%, but no, it's closer to 80% because it's so accessible. What a film for everybody. Crimes of the Future. Okay, that's it. Rant over. We're not going to go down that road. Not tonight. Maybe in the comments. Hit me in the comments. Maybe we'll do that in a minute. But it basically appealed to the average moviegoer, and it delivers what they want. And also, what did we talk about with this film? And it says right here, youngsters under 17 turned out in force, 23%. We said this was the first true 4-quad film, right? Maverick is like a 3.5 that's kind of turned into a 4 because families are taking their kids. But this is a straight up 4-quad film. This is for families on a Saturday afternoon matinee and Sunday, and well, all week now because you've got kids out of school and they got to go see something. So Dominion will hold very well this week, and I imagine it'll do okay next week. I mean, we're going to see a drop, no question, with Lightyear coming into the marketplace because that is going to appeal to families as well. But now you have two movie-going options out there when you have Lightyear next weekend. But Dominion really appeals to families, and they have not had something since... I mean, you can say Doctor Strange, but come on. A lot of people thought that was a horror film, which is ridiculous to call Doctor Strange a horror film. It's Sam Raimi. But if you consider that horror, wow, okay? I would hate to see what you call the Human Centipede. But here's the thing, is that when you have a family 4-quad film, you're going to get a big number. Should it have been a little bigger? Yeah, I think so. But here's why it wasn't. Okay, let's talk about why Jurassic World Dominion did not come in at 175, 180 is what the initial forecasts were. Okay, very simple here. Maverick has been holding, right? Maverick held at a minus 44%, I believe, this weekend at 50 million. What that tells me, and you guys know, because I'm sure you've seen it by now, if not once, twice, maybe 3 times, that word of mouth on Maverick is as strong as it gets. We never see holds like this. We just don't see films do this weekend after weekend after weekend, and then during the week as well. I mean, look, it's at 700 million plus worldwide. I think it's at 747 million worldwide. It has a shot to get to 1 billion. Hit me up in the comments and we'll discuss that. But it really does. There's no China, okay? And one of the things that Jurassic World had is China. I mean, look at the number from China. It's 52, I believe, 52 million, 52.2 million. So it's one of the very few films that's gotten a release date in China, which is still in some kind of lockdown-ish state there, right? But it's 52.2 is really strong. So when you add that into Dominion, imagine if even Maverick had China at all, right? You're talking about a decent number. I mean, it's not going to be as big as Dominion, okay? Top Gun Maverick is not going to appeal to the Chinese market in the same way that a Jurassic World film will. But look at Doctor Strange. Didn't have China, and it's at 930, I believe? 930 million worldwide. So when you look at the Chinese marketplace is huge. So is Russia. Russia's out. So at least Dominion has everything but Russia, okay? And hopefully we're going to find out if Thor, Love and Thunder gets into China. Russia's out. Just put that on the side. It's not happening. But China, if it's in there, then that's going to help Thor get to 1 billion. I think Thor is an easy $1 billion film because of its summer release date, July. Kids have nothing to do. By then, it'll be the only film really going that's fresh. And it'll just absolutely slay for that first week, 2, 3 weeks. Thor, Love and Thunder is going to put up insane numbers. I think the opening is closer to 200 million than even Strange. I mean, I think that more people are excited for Thor, Love and Thunder than they were for Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange benefited from the fact that there was nothing in multiplexes since really No Way Home. So people were like, I want to go to a movie, and they went to see Doctor Strange, which is mid-Marvel, okay? It is. You guys know it. It's mid-Marvel. I think Thor's going to be better. And you know what tells me that Disney knows that Thor, Love and Thunder is better? They're going to have the world premiere of Thor, Love and Thunder on the 23rd of this month. So you're talking about 11 days from now, you're going to have the world premiere, which means we're going to get those initial social reactions. I will not, as of now, be going to the world premiere. I know, Crimea River, but I will see it on the 29th, so it comes out on the 8th. So I'll have a real good idea of what this film is going to do and how strong it is, because once you see it, whatever film it is, you can identify what it's going to do at the box office. It's pretty easy. I mean, how inclusive is it for how big is the audience? Is it a big part of the pie, small part? And when I see Thor, Love and Thunder, I'm really expecting this film to deliver, okay? And I think that means it's a $200 million opening and $1 billion worldwide. Hit me in the comments if you disagree. I think that there's no question that that's going to happen. Let's also talk about this. The Black Phone. I want to state this tonight on the 12th of June. 2022. The Black Phone is going to outperform in a substantial way. Is it going to open to 150 million? No, but you wait. That film is going to do gangbusters word of mouth. It's going to literally be one of those films that everyone comes out and says, it is great. I have not seen it yet, but everyone I talk to that has, and I've seen multiple people I know have already seen the film, say it is very good. Horror in the summer does well. We've seen it work so many times with Warner Brothers. Universal's like, we want a piece of this action. We're going to drop this thing at the end of June and then let it linger there, right? As that alt title for people to go see when they don't want to go see Thor. They're looking for something else. Right now, the marketplace could use more films, right? I mean, this weekend, I saw a film that I really liked. It is called Phantom of the Open. Now, it's a Sony Pictures Classic film. And when you think about Sony Pictures Classic, let me pull up their... I had to go to the Wikipedia page to remember some of these things that they have put out. They have an insane record, a track record of very strong films. And when you see Phantom of the Open, you go, here it is again. Sony Pictures Classics does a very good job of identifying accessible art house films, right? Indie films. Go back and look at this. 37 Academy Awards. Okay, they've won 155 nominations, Best Picture nominations for The Father most recently, Call Me By Your Name, Whiplash, Amour, Midnight in Paris, In Education, Capote, on it goes. If you look at Midnight in Paris, that is their #1 film. I mean, it's got 56 million in the U.S. And, you know, we can talk about Woody Allen all day. We can say Woody Allen this, Woody Allen that, and we're going to remove the Woody Allen and the off-the-field garbage. And we know, believe me, let's not do that. Let's not get into that. But I want to say this. Midnight in Paris is a hell of an entertaining film. I mean, it's one of my favorite films to revisit. If you ask me a film that I just want to sit back and just literally go into a world and just zone out and really just become one with the film, Midnight in Paris is so good at that. It just transports you to that time, another world. It's such a smart, one of Woody Allen's best films. And again, we're just talking about Woody Allen, the director, okay? But when you look at Sony Pictures Classics, you're talking about a studio distributor that really identifies good things. And Fan of the Open is, I don't want to tell you too much about the film, but it's basically has... it's about a golfer who is the worst golfer ever. It's based on a true story. He got into the British Open and shot one of the worst rounds, in fact, the worst round ever in a major. And it's hilarious. It's so smart, and the script is one of the best scripts that I have seen, certainly this year. And I think it'll be one of the best screenplays that I see maybe for the rest of the year. It's really smart screenplay. Mark Rylance is in it, Sally Hawkins. If you can go find this film, Fan of the Open, go. It is in theaters now. AMC has it as part of their Artisan collection. It didn't do a big number. Of course it's not. It's Sony Pictures Classic. I'm pretty sure it's wide. I know here in LA I can get it because it's New York, LA. But I think with it being at AMC, I would imagine if it's near you, you can see it. I will bet you big cash that if you go to see Fan of the Open, you're going to say, this is a good film. I really like it. All right, comment time coming up in a moment. Before we do that, tonight's football kit is Columbus Crew, my hometown of Columbus, Ohio. I have 3 Columbus Crew kits. This one has Acura on it. I don't know if you can see it, but it's the old sponsor, but I love the logo. The Acura logo kicks ass. All right, it is time for comments. Let's get into it, guys. Here we go on this Sunday night. Whatever you want to talk about, I am game for. We haven't been on since last Wednesday because we had some, just had previews and premieres and things. So we're back here on Sunday. So I'm glad you guys are here. Thanks for watching. Lonely Lizard, hoping Disney can let Pixar be theatrical again if Lightyear opens above 70. I think it is for sure going to open above 70. I don't see any way. In fact, when I came out, I said, what's the number on this? I wanted to see what Box Office Pro, I think they do a pretty good job of estimating what that range is. I literally said 100. So they're at like 90 to 105. And I think that the word of mouth will push it. I think 100 is absolutely there, as Lonely Lizard says here. And Pixar should not be relegated to Disney Plus, but you guys know how I feel about Turning Red. I mean, Turning Red's not a great film. It's one of Pixar's worst films. There's really no question in my mind about that. I might even put it below The Good Dinosaur. I mean, that's pretty low. But I think this will help if Lightyear can go ahead and pop a nice solid 100 million. Turning Red would have done a really strong number when it came out. I think that was obviously they drove subscriptions to Disney Plus, but it would have done a really strong theatrical number. Look at what The Bad Guys did for Universal. It outperformed at like 20, whatever it was, 25, because families wanted something to see. Rob Beretta, good evening to you. Maverick holding strong with 50 million, going to break 500 million domestic by the end of its run. Amazing stuff because it is so good. It is such a great film. It will be, at this point, remember we talked about this when it came out. I said, this is a possible best picture. I think it's pretty much locked at this point. Why? Because when it ends up with 500 million, which it looks like that's what's going to do domestic, that is going to reinforce its chances when Oscar season comes around this fall. People aren't going to forget it because it's got those box office numbers and the love. People love this film. So you just wait. It's going to end up being a Best Picture nominee, and I would love nothing more to see Tom Cruise. Why not for Best Actor? We had this discussion after I saw the film. Why not? Why do we have to say that it has to be in this film or has to be this genre or it has to be playing? No, Tom Cruise, especially the scene with Val Kilmer, that's the Oscar moment. No question about it. So yeah, what a phenomenon that Maverick is. JT, good evening to you. Can't wait to see the Black Phone, Lightyear this week. They're doing fan screenings or something for Black Phone this week. I'm going to try to sneak into that because I want to see this film. So I'm going to do my best to hit up Universal and say, get me in. Let me see the Black Phone. Lightyear is solid. I think that Socks is the best part of it. You've seen that everywhere. It's no question. Socks is the best part. Is it a great Pixar film? No. Is it better than Turning Red? Yes. Is it better than Luca for me? Yes. Is it lower than Soul? I love Soul. You know, we talked about this on Wednesday night after I came out of Lightyear. Soul's great. Soul. There's issues with Soul, but the parts of Soul that are through the roof, stratospheric, as I like to say, they are that high. They are that good. Gone Girl, good evening to you. Dominion was but it's quite entertaining. It is. It's not great. It's also not terrible. Okay, so it's somewhere in that mid-range, but it's enough. Is it time to bury the franchise for a while? Put the bones back under, okay? Let them fossilize. Give it 5, I would say closer to 10 years, and then consider revisiting this with a new director, with a new vision, a really smart screenplay. Do not bring this back in 2 years or 3 years. Jurassic World, that's another reason why you're seeing this thing slope down. Audiences, even though they went and they will continue to go, it's diminishing returns. People are worn out, right? It's franchise fatigue, as they say. So I think that's what you saw as well. Lonely Lizard again. I also plan to purchase tickets for 7 people for the 4 p.m. IMAX 3D Lincoln Square showing of Love and Thunder to make Marvel Studios the first $1 billion. I love Lonely Lizards. Is a guy that, if I'm not mistaken, you go and saw. Did you not see Strange like almost 10 times? I love that you are out there supporting things. I think that is so. Really, I love it. You know, that's where my heart is. Like, let's support these films. So I say go find Phantom of the Open. Go find Phantom of the Open this week and see it. Give that film money. Let Sony Pictures Classics know I wish they did a better job promoting this film. It is much better. It deserves better. By the way, the poster's not good. You got to fix the poster. I mean, I watched the poster. After I saw the movie, I go, oh my God, that poster. David Saleh, I believe. Good evening to you. Welcome to the channel. What do we think big budget action film from Netflix like Gray Man would make in theaters? Listen, we talked about this, David. Again, welcome to Midnight Movie Talk. We've talked about this forever here. I am such a huge opponent of theatrical. So the fact that Netflix, going back to one of the films you see behind me somewhere here, where is it? Where's Roma? There it is. Roma's back there. So Roma was 2018. That was their first, real push into this, the awards films and kind of be taken seriously as a film studio. How do you not have theatrical by now, 4 years down the road, and you've got a $200 million film here in Gray Man, and it's sitting here without really a major theatrical component? I know they're trying to get it in place for Knives Out 2 this fall, which they have to, because Knives Out 1 was a huge hit for Lionsgate. But how do you not have it ready for Gray Man? How do you not have AMC and Regal ready to roll? Literally, let's go. We have the screens. I don't care if it's like 1,000, 1,500, 2,000. Not 10 screens, right, at Cinemark in like the middle of nowhere in BFE. No, you've got to have these screens lined up. I don't know how you don't have a deal. You know what I would do? Okay, so this weekend, I just said I saw Phantom of the Open. Phantom of the Open is a Sony Pictures Classic movie. I would go to AMC because AMC is showing the Phantom of the Open. And I'd say, what deal do you have with SPC? What deal do you have with Sony Pictures Classics? I'm talking as Netflix. I would say, we need the same deal. You give me that deal, well, you've got the Gray Man. Who cares? Whatever the deal is, just get it in. And let's just answer that question. What would it do? I think it's easily close to 50. In this marketplace right now, if it's a good film, it pops higher. You've got Gosling, you've got Evans, you've got Anna, you've got 3 people that people want to see, and they'll go see. They're movie stars. And I think that it would do at least 50, and maybe higher. But again, get that under control. I can't believe that you don't have theatrical yet, Netflix. It's an embarrassment. Honestly, it really is. I would tell them if I walk into a meeting, I would walk into their offices on Sunset and say, this is an absolute embarrassment that you don't have theatrical yet. They'd be like, you can leave. I'm just to let you know it's an embarrassment, and they'd kick me out. Superhero movies are the best movies. Great to see you as well. Dominion in IMAX 3D yesterday. It was enjoyable. Isn't that kind of the thing? It's enjoyable enough. I mean, I don't think the weird thing about this film, aside from the motorcycle chase and what city is that? I'm forgetting the name of the city. I want to say Davos, but it's not Davos. Whatever it is. The motorcycle chase scene with the Raptors, that's good, and especially as the plane lifts off and then the motorcycle hits the Raptor, that's good. That's good cinema as far as that's what I want to see, but that's really it. I mean, there's no real other moment that's like, oh my gosh, even the beginning. And if you haven't seen Dominion, hopefully you have, but so this will make more sense to you. But that opening scene where the boat's there and they're they're casting the bait out, and then the giant whale dinosaur thing comes flying up. That scene's so fast, it's like over. The boat starts to flop over, and then instantly they're doing part of that newsreel thing. I'm like, that's not handled well. I am not a fan of the direction of this film, and I think, and also the script. I think that it looks pretty good. It looks big, but I think that the direction, the edits in this film, there are some really suspect edits in this film. If you guys saw Dominion, you're like going, especially at the end when they're climbing up the ladder, it's like they're at the bottom, then they're at the top, then it's like, what's going on here? As a filmmaker, you have to show, you just have to, as they get off the ladder, you have to show someone coming up. It's just like a little, it's like, honestly, it's just like a tiny frame or two. It's little things that I just feel like are missing in this film, and that's the difference between a really great director and just an average director. Little tiny things that someone like Villeneuve would not do. I mean, it would be there. It all would be there, and you wouldn't be going, that's a suspect edit, because you don't see that. The thing I have with Denis is that a lot of his stuff's too long. Like, as you guys know, I did the thing with Film Courage, and we're talking about Blade Runner 2049. Every scene in Blade Runner 2049 bleeds on too long. Every single scene. If you tighten that film up from 245, okay, and you get that to even 215, you're talking a half an hour of film. If you take every one of those scenes and collapse it, it's a better film at 215, and that's still long, but 245 is ridiculous. So I think when you watch Dominion, you see a director who is not as skilled at editing. I don't know if I even noticed in the last two. Fallen Kingdom was not great, and I think Jurassic World was good enough. I mean, it was refreshing because we hadn't been there in a while, but now that we've done 3 of these, you start to really start picking apart, and I think that I'm not really thrilled with Colin's direction on this. It's okay. It's marginal. It's not great. Not great direction. I'm surprised Dominion made $143 million after all the bad reviews. It was critic-proof, ultimately. People just want to see dinosaurs, and they want to get out of the house now. Right? We've been stuck in the house for 2 years. Everybody's back in, okay? Everyone is back in the marketplace. And one of the things that Maverick did is it brought people back in the marketplace that maybe were on the fence, especially in older audiences were like, I don't know if it's safe, and they said, okay, let's go see Maverick, and they did, and then I've said this before here, and we'll say it again, they woke up the next morning and they're like, I'm alive. I mean, this isn't comedy. Literally, they go, I'm alive, I'm here, and you know what, maybe I'll go see another movie. Once you break over the barrier of whatever it is, okay, whatever you do in your life, once you do it once or twice or 3 times, you're just like, whatever, let's just go and do it. So I think that's one of the things Maverick did. So it brought people back into the marketplace even more. So Dominion really got hurt by Maverick too, because obviously it holds, and you're taking seats, you're taking tickets that Maverick, people went to see Maverick this weekend that maybe would have gone to see Dominion if there had been nothing. If you flip Dominion and Maverick, and you make Dominion out on Memorial Day weekend, and you put Maverick out now, first of all, Dominion does much better. Okay, it opens at 180 plus minimum, and Maverick suffers. Now, Maverick would still do decent, but Maverick was absolutely nailed that release date. It had nothing in front of it. Box office is all about timing. Obviously, it's about product and how strong your film is, but it's also about timing. You do not want to run into the wake of another film that's kicking ass. Maverick's kicking ass. Dominion got dinged by the fact that people went to go see Maverick, so Dominion's number's lower. It's still solid. No one's saying 143, whatever it was, is not a good number, but again, it would be closer to 180, maybe higher if you flipped them. It might even hit closer to 2, because again, it's more about, oh my God, I want to go see a movie. Maverick got that benefit, plus it delivered the goods, so it got 2 things, and really it picked up over the weekend because that word of mouth was so strong. People were running out of the movie saying, you have to see Maverick. It was like me here when I first saw it that Monday, like I saw it, maybe it was Tuesday, the week before. Oh my God, I told you guys, you have to go see Maverick. You have to see it. And I think that that's very important. Word of mouth is everything when it comes to theatrical, for sure. Lonely Lizard again. How much will Doctor Strange 2 when it opens in your crane on Thursday? There's. Oh my God. There's a question. Let me ruminate that and think about it. Oh my God. Aaliyah, good evening to you. Maverick had only a 37% drop overseas. Movie is definitely speaking to people worldwide. Yeah, it's definitely more than just domestic, and that's one of the reasons the bad guys here are nameless, right? No mention other than the fact they're Cobra. Very clearly, they are Cobra, G.I. Joe, because of Paramount and the cross promotion of the two franchises. But no, you don't know if they're anything. If anything, they're Russian, right? Because that's just what we're gonna do. Whatever they are, you can imprint whatever bad guy you want. Very smart move by them. Very smart. A billion plus is a certainty. I think it's very, it's hard to say certainty because, again, no China for the foreseeable future. I looked at the Paramount box office, their email that they send out, and I just didn't no mention of China coming up. So I think that's out, and of course Russia. So that'll hurt, but I think it gets really close to $1 billion if it doesn't hit it. Lonely Lizard again. I don't think Thor: Love and Thunder will open in China. Well, that's right. China has that issue. Maybe they have to edit the film. I'm not certain what's going to happen with that film. I think everyone's waiting, and I guess we're going to find out. We're going to find out what happens here in the next few weeks. I mean, Disney's not going to answer that question. If I email Disney, and they're very good about getting back to me, but they're not going to. They're not going to answer that. They're going to say we don't want to go there. It's fine. Superhero movies. Eric, you made me laugh when you said people are scared of the pandemic. They were not going to drop everything. Yeah, I mean, we're going to the cinema. I've been going to the cinema now for the last 2+ years. I mean, literally, I took maybe 2 months off, and then we drove to Vegas to see Tenet. So I've really taken only that time that we were totally in lockdown from whatever that was. March, April, May, June. I think I was back, what was that, July for Tenet? Drove to Vegas to see Tenet. So I took a few months off, but I'm going to tell you the truth. If the theaters were open in like April and May, no matter how much they were telling me that I have to stay home and save grandma. Oh, please. Okay. I'm not going to do it. We're not going to do it tonight, Eric. I would have gone to a movie. And you know what? I wouldn't have come out of it and gone, I just killed grandma. Okay. I mean, jeez. Just unbelievable what they did. Unbelievable to me. All right. Nick, good evening to you. I'm going to stop myself. This could get really wild. Maverick making the Batman money. Yeah, I mean, look, it's right there at 747. Batman's at what, 780? Let's just call it 780. It's going to get there. It's going to beat the Batman. Remember, though, okay, let's remember a couple things. One, that the Batman was obviously not a 4-quad film because it's got the serial killer angle. It's Fincher. It's, obviously it's Reeves, but it's very much of a Fincher serial killer film. I mean, very much a 7. And that's not a movie for kids, so they're out. You take out the kids, and you're in trouble. I mean, look what happened. If you took out the kids from Dominion, that number would be maybe 100. It would be so much lower. What was it, 25%? So it would be, closer to 100. So you get rid of the kids, young kids especially for Batman. That's one of the issues. Plus, it had no China. I don't know if it had Russia. Was a war? Yeah, I don't think it hasn't Russia either. So you had both of those gone, and so, but still, the Batman is a very solid number. I would have liked to see it closer to $1 billion because it's the Batman. But again, I understand the reasons for that. But it really speaks to Maverick's strengths more than it does the Batman's weaknesses. That you see Maverick going to fly by the Batman. It's obvious. It's even farther away from all the COVID scare. Right? We're at the point now where whatever you hear COVID-wise, I think we can all agree here. If you don't, hit me in the comments. Let me know. But I think we all are on the same page. That now, if someone says, oh, the next variant, people are just like this. Right? Monkeypox. You're just like, I got it. Listen, life, we'll say it again here on Midnight Movie Talk. Life is about assumed risk. Okay? Today, I drove down to Orange County. That is it's an hour each way, minimum, without traffic. And thank God there wasn't today, either way. But I assumed risk when I got in the car. Okay? Whatever you do in life, you're going to face some measure of risk. There's no such thing as living life in a bubble. So therefore, I think we've all realized that now after 2 years, that you take the precautions you need to take, and we're not going to listen to that stuff anymore. And I think the further we get away from that and the more people that buy into that thought process, you're going to see these movies pop, which they are. That's why I say, let's stop talking about the pandemic era. I really called that weeks ago, and we're still doing it again. So I'm just like, can we not do this? Or I've got so many comments here, guys. I love it. Thank you so much. Really, again, like, subscribe. You're already here, so you've already liked, subscribe. But if you haven't, tell your friends. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you back here again on Tuesday. We're still going tonight. We'll be back here on Tuesday. By the way, screenings this week include, I am so excited to see a film tomorrow. I have been waiting to see this film for months. And I finally get to see Marcel the Shell with the shoes on tomorrow night. It comes out next week, not this coming week. The following week, A24 releases Marcel the Shell. based on the trailer. You know, I'm not a huge trailer guy, but I had to sit through them when I go to see these movies on Thursday night with the crowds. Marcel the Shell trailer is one of the just most... It just gives me almost chills when I watch Marcel the Shell, because you got to remember, I grew up in the 80s, so when I hear Take Me Home by Phil Collins and used to perfection in the Marcel the Shell trailer, I can't wait to see the film. We will talk about Marcel the Shell on Tuesday. If you don't know, watch that trailer. That's the homework for tonight. If you've not watched it, watch it again and really pay attention to, if you know Phil Collins' Take Me Home, pay attention to whoever did the audio mixing on that, the sound mixing on that trailer, the way it pops when the audio drops and and you Take Me Home. It is so expertly mixed. Whoever deserves an Academy nominee as best trailer of the year just for the mixing. Okay, let's go on from that. Love and Thunder is going to be good. Can't wait, right, JT? 100%. What does Paramount do with both Maverick and Babylon? Okay. Yes, we talked about this before, Nick, but I'll do it again quickly. Here's what's going on. Babylon is going to come out at the end of the year. It'll be fresh, it'll be hot, it'll be the film of the award season, no question, especially for the Oscars, because it'll be one of the last ones in. Those always do well, especially if they're good. It's Damien Chazelle. It's going to be very good, okay? Early word out of the test screens is it's great. They have time to mold it. It's like 3 hours. I'll probably get it down to closer to 2:30. Maybe they let them do 3. I don't know what they're going to do. But they're going to be sitting there with Babylon, and they're going to be sitting there with Maverick. So you really, they don't have to compete against each other. They're completely different films, right? So one's a period piece. One is this audience pleaser. Completely different. And I think that you can easily have both. The only issue I see for Paramount is, if you look behind me at the films, very few Paramount films behind me. They don't have a great track record of FYC success, certainly not recently. You go back to Rocket Man, we talk about this all the time. Rocket Man was botched from a release date standpoint. They really tried to regather steam. It didn't happen. So I question if Paramount's going to be able to handle the campaigns of both. So Nick, to your point, I think that that's a very good question. That's my concern. Not that it can't be done. Can they do it? Okay? Brian, good evening to you. I have Black Phone overperforming at around 30. Easy 30. Easy 30 on that, Brian. I'm 100% with you. I think it goes even higher. I see that WW84 poster. Not a poster. This is an FYC screener. This was a DVD. I took the DVD out because it hangs on the wall. This is a DVD FYC screener for the worst CBM in the history of CBMs. It is there. It is in the top 3. What a bad film, especially after the first Wonder Woman. You're going to give me 84 with the magic dildo? What? What are we It is. That's exactly what it is. You know, when you watch, you know you thought that. I'm sure someone else, I'm not the first person who saw it. And also one 80s song. One. And that's the trivia question. When do they play the 80s song? You guys have heard me talk about this. When do they play it? Go back and watch it. You'll be like, there it is. I hear it. Nobody within 200-mile radius of me has Family Open. What? Where do you live, Brian? Tell me. It's so good. You've got to see it. And I don't know what the window is on this because it's, again, it's SPC. And they don't, you know, they probably have like a 17-day window and then it'll be on Amazon Prime. But it's just such a delightful film. I think that's just the word. I went with my friend Paul. He's on Twitter, Academy Picks. Good friend of mine, and we went to go see it, and we both came out, and it's like, we both looked delightful. It is a delightful film, and it's one of those films that I think that if people saw it, they would go out and say, you need to watch Phantom of the Open. That's why I'm here tonight telling you. That's what I want to do, is drive you to these films, like hopefully Marcel the Shell tomorrow. Same thing. I mean, it's A24, so more people will see Marcel the Shell than Phantom of the Open, but I mean, Mark Rylance and Sally Hawkins are both awards-worthy nominee caliber in this, and the screenplay is absolutely award caliber screenplay. It's just, I think the direction is a little bit, it's okay. It could have been stronger, but the film's very good. Very good film. Go find it if you can. But yeah, I wouldn't drive 200 miles. Okay, Brian, don't drive 200 miles. That's like me driving to Vegas to see Tenet. Oh my God. Listen, 4 hours to Vegas from LA, and then 4 hours back the same day after sitting through Tenet. We know it's a little mind numbing, okay? Right? Especially when he does the audio mixing. What are we doing here? Chris Nolan, what are we doing? And especially when it's a film that you really need to pay attention to the dialogue because it's so nonsensical, all of it. But we literally sat through the movie. So literally was there for like over 10 hours, went into a casino, placed a few bets, and then rolled home. That was a mistake. Next time, if I ever go to Vegas, I'm not staying. I'm going to stay. I'm not driving right back. Box Office Pros 90. There we go. Yeah, see, there you go. They're going up. That was at 105, I believe. It's 115. I've got it at 100 right now, and I think that it will be somewhere in that range, 100. I don't think it's going to go too far over 100 because of Dominion, because Dominion really got those audiences back, especially the families. So I don't know if the families are going to go to the multiplex again, although it is Lightyear. I understand the young kids, but I still think 100's a really good number for this. 5 picks for Best Animated Feature. Let's do that. I can do it right now. Let me pull up. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up Awards Ace. I don't know if you guys know this, but I run an award site called Awards Ace. And it's so great because I can just go ahead and pull it up and we can just do it live and I can go through the things. At this point of the year, I'll be honest with you, it's a little hard to nail down exactly which 5. It's early, but if I had to guess, let's do it. Hold on, let me pull it up. So if I had to guess, what are the films that are going to be in the running for Best Animated? Here we go. Where are we? Let me pull up this one. Hold on. There we go. Okay, so here, I got the black phone up. I was trying to see if it's showing this week. Okay, here we go. Let's get rid of the black phone and let's go to Awards Ace. Okay, so on Awards Ace, we're going to scroll down and I'm going to go to Best Animated, and I believe I have Lightyear highlighted. There it is. Lightyear's right there. And let's go ahead and pop it up. Let me make myself smaller and make it even bigger. Okay, so here's what we have going in the race. Apollo 10.5 is Richard Linklater, and that is already out. I think that it will end up being a player, even though I know it wasn't a huge success. A lot of people weren't talking about that film. I think it still is there. Lightyear's there. Pinocchio is Del Toro, okay? That's going to be huge. So is Wendell and Wild. That is from the mind of Jordan Peele. Turning Red I have on here, it's Pixar, and then Strange World is the other Disney movie that comes out later this year, right? Disney Animation. And then even Minions Rise of Gru. I mean, Universal's not going to let that film go. They're going to push it. I mean, DC League of Super Pets, come on. I mean, I really have said to you before, I really do not see myself watching DC Super Pets. I have literally zero interest in sitting through that film. Unless someone tells me it's a riot, which by the trailer it is not a riot, okay? And that's the best you have. The jokes in that are so sophomoric and so like for toddlers, the jokes. Really not, doesn't look very smart. It doesn't look like a Lord and Miller, right, animated feature, such as the Lego Movie, Mitchell's vs. the Machines, Into the Spider-Verse. You're talking about 2 brilliant dudes who write really good scripts. This is not that. DC League of Super Pets. So I think those are my 5. Okay, so here are my 5. Here we go. 5, one more time. Pull it up. Awards Days. Here we go. Here's our 5. Let's go for sure with Wendell and Wild. We'll go Pinocchio. We'll go Lightyear. We will go Minions because of Universal, and then we'll go Strange World. Okay? Because listen, Universal is they're not gonna let a slot go. They will push hard. They pushed Dragon. Remember How to Train Your Dragon? They really pushed for that win. By the way, was it the second one or the third? The second one. There's 3 Train Your Dragon. The second one is great. One of the best films of that year. Period. Not animated. Best films. Period. My local multiplex had the biggest day on Saturday since Endgame, even bigger than Christmas with No Way Home. Wow. For Dominion. And again, that speaks to people coming out of their house and they're going, let's go to a movie. And people are out and about. They're at restaurants. Even though the price of gas is over $6 a gallon out here, I don't know where it is where you are, probably at least $5. I paid $6.10 down in Orange County, which by the way is less than LA. LA's like $6.30 now at like low. High would be closer to $7. But people are still going out. They're still spending money. Eventually, that's the issue, is when we get this inflation, and we all know there's inflation, let's not play, come on, okay? Right? It's insane. If you start to have people go, wait a second, I only have so much money because you're not making more, right? So you're saying I have less to spend. What gets cut? Movies. That's what I worry about going forward. That's something that you got to think about. That is not something everybody needs in their lives. Me, we need movies. The average person's like, I don't care. I'll wait to get it at home. And then maybe even Netflix is getting cut. Look at their numbers going down. People are looking at their finances and saying, I don't know if I really need this. So I think that movies are in a precarious place because of the fact that they are non-essential for most people. Therefore, they're going to get cut. Watch out if that happens. Let's go to superhero movies again. I've seen Maverick 6 times. 3 times at Dolby, 1 time Screen X. I don't know. Screen X I got to do sometime. It sounds badass. And then IMAX. 4DX I've heard is amazing. The seats move, right? Or is that Screen X? But I think that that's it. I burned Maverick out at the cinema. That's a lot. And it's also the other thing that makes Maverick tough as a rewatch. I've seen it now 2.5 times. I watched the first half and I really just wanted to go home and go to bed. It was kind of late. I went with some friends. And when you have A-list, you don't care. It's free, right? You get 3 movies a week. Again, if I haven't sold you on A-list by now, please go do it if you have an AMC near you. That said, it's hard to watch because it's 2.5 hours. Or, right? No, 2:15. Any film that's like 90 is a very easy rewatch because 90 minutes goes by really fast. Even Firestarter. You guys know I've seen Firestarter 5 or 6 times. Because it's 90 minutes and there's nothing else out and I wanted to burn my A-list. But I find Maverick harder to sit through because it's 2:15. If Maverick was 90, I would have seen it at least 5 times by now. Because it's just shorter. It's just, it's not about the quality. Firestarter is not a great film, but is hilarious. Like, the fried cat scene is really the high point of comedy of 2022. Brian again, Lightyear's going to do 130. Wow, you're really, really bullish on this. Shortages are insane for concessions around here. Oh, I heard that. I've heard popcorn is going to be hard to find, which is not good. Theaters have to think, like, wait a second, if we can't get popcorn, are they going to sell, like, bags of chips? I mean, I don't know. What could they, let's think about that. What could they sell? Peanuts? I mean, like, roasted peanuts? I don't know. I'm not, if they don't have popcorn, what are you going to sell? I don't know what it is. Gongo, we should see a movie this week. Listen, I'm going to I've got 2 screenings this week. I've got Marcel the Shell and then the latest Focus movie, which is like 2 dudes' names. Brian and someone. It's like about the guy who builds a robot. You guys seen it? It's like under the radar. Nobody's talking about this film. I'm going to see it, I believe, on Wednesday. I'm going to like this big event for it. Hopefully it's good. I love Focus films. Focus Features is one of the strongest distributors / studios out there. I think they have a very good eye for indie film. And look at what they did for The Northman. They gave that film $70 to $90 million budget. Granted, that's still Universal because it's under the Universal umbrella, right? Focus is. So it doesn't all come from Focus. Obviously, they have more money because being with, tagged in with Universal. But Focus really knows how to make they identify good stuff. So I hope that it's one of those. I hope it's a good Focus film. I've rarely seen a really bad Focus Features film. It kind of like we said with Sony Pictures Classic here with Phantom of the Open. There's very few really bad Sony Pictures Classics movies. I mean, again, go back to The Father. One of the best films of 2020. One of the best films of the year, and certainly Anthony Hopkins was very deserving of that Best Actor. I know what happened with Chadwick, but I mean, listen, that scene at the end, you just see him win Oscar. I sent that tweet out when I first watched that on a screener during the middle of the pandemic. This is really great work by him. The problem with Dominion is they didn't tie all the different things going on in the movie well enough. Yeah, the script's not great. I mean, it's just not. Didn't sell for the payoff. I agree. It's not a great script, but it's good enough. The movie's just good enough as it is. It's not a great film. I would not have made this script, but it's what we got, and Jurassic's just time to kind of go away. Let's just have it buried have it fossilized for 10 years, and then we'll come back. Jurassic World 3 was a better franchise finale than Rise of the Skywalker. That's interesting. I would disagree with that, but that's fine. I understand. Colin is better than JJ. No. I don't agree with that. That's fine. Hey, we can disagree. JJ tried to make it original. I don't hate Rise of Skywalker as much as some people, certainly my good buddy Chris Gore. That said, I don't remember loving the film either. I mean, I don't remember. Listen, I can talk Star Wars, but I'm not as big a nerd as Chris Gore at Star Wars. I like to, as you guys can tell, I talk a lot about industry, about numbers, about overall likability of a film. These things are more interesting to me than really drilling down on certain not genres, but certain fandoms, right? Star Wars, MCU, DCU. I just like good films, period. I really don't have a dog in the fight. I just want to see a good film every time. JT, again, I'm seeing Elvis next Tuesday. JT, you're like beating me to all these films. This is not cool. We got a problem, okay? I really want to see Elvis. Warner Brothers got back to me and said, Eric, we'll let you see it whenever. I'm like, come on, let me see it now. I literally ride my bike to Warner Brothers. It's just down the street here in Burbank, Los Angeles, and I would go to Warner Brothers and say, I want to see Elvis, let's go. By the way, did you see the water tower? I sent out the picture. I was out on my bike on Friday. I love taking bike rides around Burbank. It's so chill. And I saw the water tower, and they were painting, there we go, the old school WB logo. I think that's a nice touch. I think we all agree it looks better. Nick, again, PSA, movie theater not Starbucks. Not paying to hear people's sound design. People literally talking during the movie. That sucks. That's too bad. It's really too bad because out here in LA, I got to say, the truth of it is that LA is very cinephilic. You guys know, this industry, right? Everybody out here, it has some connection to the entertainment business, okay? Whether they are into talking about films, making films, they work for a studio, they work for some production company, a caterer that goes to set, whatever it is, the connections to the entertainment business here are vast, and pretty much everybody has one. So therefore, when they go to a movie, a lot of the people that are in that movie theater maybe worked on the film or they work at a studio, so they have a great reverence for the film and the actual sitting in a theater and being quiet and being courteous to your fellow moviegoer. I rarely have someone on their phone or talking, and I think it's more than likely an LA thing because people here hold their cinema so high, and I love that. And if I ever move away from LA and I end up somewhere like, my hometown of Columbus, I'll be like, what are you doing? Why do you not love these films as much? Oh, that's right, I'm not in LA. And the other thing I'll say when I moved to those cities, what the hell happened to all the FYC ads? If you live in LA, it's an FYC ad extravaganza literally all year round. So right now, you've got all the Emmy FYC stuff going on, okay? And there's tons of events and tons of billboards and posters of all these shows that I really don't watch a whole lot of TV shows. But then comes award season in the fall for the films, a lot of them you see behind me, and all those FYC campaigns and billboards are everywhere. You can't get away from it in this town. If you move to another town, you're like, oh, what happened to all the FYC ads? Because I know if you live, wherever you guys are from, if you're not in LA, New York, you probably see some, but LA is all about FYC shit everywhere. David again, thanks so much. I agree 100%. Judas and Black Messiah suffered massively for being online only. Yeah, Warner Brothers was in that state. I really, really like Judas and the Black Messiah. I think it should have been a stronger Best Picture contender. I think it was one of the best films that year, no question. During the height of COVID, yeah, I know, it's really a weird time. I think we're over that. Remember, they were doing the whole HBO Max day and date, which is never good. Theatrical is sacred. Therefore, when a film is theatrical, you hold it with more cachet, you hold it with more reverence. So therefore, when it's only on streaming, like, great examples, this new Leo Grand, okay? It's the new Searchlight movie that's going direct to Hulu. So I want to see it. I've heard it's very good, but the fact that it's going direct to Hulu makes me think less of the film. It makes me not prioritize the film as much as Marcel the Shell, which is going to be straight theatrical from A24, and go back to X, and obviously Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is now their #1 film worldwide at, what is it, like 75, 80 million, whatever the number is, it's way up there. Because it's all theatrical. Because again, when you only give people theatrical options, they're going to take it. They can't go anywhere else. And that's the key of theatrical. So yeah, I think the studios are finally figuring this out, that people are ready to go back to the movies. Stop talking about the pandemic era. Literally, just stop. Stop talking about it. When are we ever going to stop talking about it? If we don't just start not talking about it now, are we going to keep talking about this in 6 months? Because we know in the fall it's going to get bad again. We just always does. The fall means people get sick more. They're more indoors. Look at the patterns, guys. Summertime is less on the viral upload than it is in the fall. I'm sorry, I'm going off on like science talk, but the bottom line is we know it's coming back. But at some point, what do we just say? Let's go. Let's go. Let's just do it and understand that we have to take risk in this life. Okay? And if you don't feel safe, that is your decision, and there's nothing wrong with that, but please don't tell me that I'm not safe for going to a movie. Don't come into my lane like that. That's as nice as I'm going to put it. Do not come into my lane and tell me that I can't go to a movie because you're going to end up killing 500 people. Remember we did that? Okay, not going to do it. Not going to go down that road. We're not going to do it. We're just going to stop. Thank you, Malta. Genuine Britain, hey, this is my movie Twitter buddy Britain. Good evening to you, Malta. It's Malta. I said Davos. I knew it was 5 letters, Malta. Thank you. It is best part of that film. No question about it. Nikki, and I think it's okay to talk during the trailers. I would agree with you. Talking to the trailers is okay, but I still don't want a whole lot of talking. And then really when the lights go dim and you get the slate, you get the studio, it's time to shut your mouth. And I have really no patience for people that don't have the courtesy, and luckily we don't have that out here. I wouldn't be good with that. I think these press screenings we go to, nobody does that. Nobody at a press screening ever has their phone out because, first of all, they have security. Whenever you go to a press screening, especially a big film, like, great example, Dominion last week. It was on Monday night down at the Grove. You had security, one on one side, one on the other. Security, okay? And then they're looking for phones, and they're just looking for generally just any trouble. So it's, I gotta admit, we have it kind of good. Our movie-going experience is not the same as it would be if you go to catch a movie in a small market like Louisville, right? Smaller market, or, Biloxi, Mississippi. It's just not going to be the same. I understand that, and I feel bad for you if that's the case. I would say go to, like, some off time if you can, because if you go, like, Saturday night, you're probably going to run into yahoos with their phones out. But, like, tomorrow night, I'm going to see Marcel the Shell at a screening room, which is literally just a room you can't even buy a ticket for. It is only for studio screenings, and they show it to press and entertainment folk, and you can go in and watch. And there's probably, like, in Wilshire, I'll send out a picture of Wilshire screening room tomorrow. I'll be in there tomorrow night. I'll send a picture. You'll see it's probably about 50 seats, and nobody talks. Nobody has their phone out because it is an industry screening, and the people in there are very serious about their films. Nobody would ever be on a phone in there. So I'll send a picture of that, but it's right here in LA. We have a ton of screening rooms out here, and that's how it goes. So again, we're a little bit spoiled. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. It's nice. It would be hard if I had to deal with people with their cell phones out all the time. Disney's releasing Obi-Wan in Cineplex theaters on June 22nd. Interesting. Again, I'm not watching this series, but I know there's, oh my God, the reactions on this. I don't even want to get into that. Hey, listen, if they can do it, why not? At this point, bring more people to the theaters. I have no problem with it. Route 66, good evening to you, and welcome to the channel, Midnight Movie Talk, here live in Los Angeles. Eric Weber doing the hosting tonight and every night that you watch Midnight Movie Talk. Maverick dropped 39%. Yeah, we talked about that, right? We said it's just an insane hold. Better hold than Dom. Hold on. Doctor, is that Multiverse of Madness? What the hell's Dom? I'm literally forgetting what Dom is. Help me out. It hasn't registered in South Korea. One of Tom Cruise's big... yeah, Dominion. Sorry. You're just going... thinking it's three things. Dominion, yeah. South Korea will open, and then don't forget, China's not on the list right now. Again, when I pull up the Paramount email, it says markets to come, and there's no mention of China. So I think that it's Dominion had it, though. Dominion has $52 million from China. Think about that. If Maverick had China money, even if it's 50, 25, whatever, it's extra money, and you don't have it. Talk about why studios ruin trailers. I could not... Gone Girl, this is a great topic. We could drill down on this literally for the next hour. I mean, listen, let me say, and I love that you bring up Nope. Universal really needs to stop giving away all of their movie in these trailers. I don't care what the trailer is. Look at the Black Phone. I think Dominion trailer is pretty good. I mean, what are you giving away? It's dinosaurs. But Black Phone and this new Nope trailer, which I sat through the other day, the second trailer gives away so much of that film, it changes the whole vibe, right? The first one was so mysterious and just perfect for a trailer. And I don't know what the thought process has to be that you're going to go see the movie no matter what. Right? You're going to go see it no matter what. I'm going to see it no matter what. They're trying to get somebody who has no interest in going to see Nope. And they're like, let's just give them basically the entire film so that they feel like they want to go see it. And I know that is counterintuitive, but you got to remember, a lot of people, they want to just literally see almost like everything. Go, oh, I'll go see that. And they feel comfortable with the film. When you watch that first Nope trailer, you maybe aren't going to be as comfortable because, like, what is this about? I don't know. It's more specific, and that's why I don't watch a lot of trailers, because the specificity of the whole thing is too much, in that now you've given away almost the whole movie. When I watched the Nope trailer, I'm like, why did I watch that? Because I went to go see Dominion. I wanted to see how the crowd reacted to Dominion, at least the beginning of the movie. I didn't sit through it twice. I don't think I could sit through Dominion twice. That said, stop giving away the whole movie. I totally agree with you, and Universal's to blame on that. Universal gives away way too much in their trailers. They are the #1 studio, the best studio at trailers. There is no question about it. The #1 studio in making a trailer is Warner Brothers. Every single trailer they put out is just on point, perfect. The first Elvis trailer, the second Elvis trailer, Black Adam's solid. It's good enough, okay? I don't know if it's one of their best, but look at Joker trailer. Go back and look at that. Look at Batman trailer. Whatever trailer Warner Brothers makes, it is going to be mint. It is going to be perfect. Gives you just enough of the film without giving you the entire film. Universal needs to be more like Warner Brothers when it comes to trailers. Trailers are definitely a big problem. 2 to 3, 4 minutes too much. Give us 45 seconds. I agree. Make it short. Get in, get out, and then I am moving on. I don't want to see the entire film. I want to be surprised. Why would I want to watch an entire film? Like literally the entire story arc, right? Almost the entire story arc of Nope. Okay, not all, but a lot. And now I'm like, I want to go in with literally blinders. I don't want to know anything about the film. Like Marcel the Shell. I've watched the trailer. I told you guys. Oh my god, superb trailer. But it doesn't give away the whole movie, okay? So I think that's the key. How do you pitch it? How do you get in that range? Scott, good evening to you. Good to see you again. Let it be known that summer 2022 will be known as the summer that Tom Cruise beat Marvel, DC, and Dinos. I think it's going to be... I still think it's Thor. I still think Thor, Love and Thunder is our #1 movie of the summer. I do. I feel like this movie is going to just hit everything. But it's going to come down to this. How good/great is Thor Love and Thunder? If it is, it's going to pop something huge, okay? Because it's going to have the perfect amount of time between Lightyear Dominion and that. It's July 8th. It's not even July 4th, right? July 8th, because July 4th is in that weird in-between. So it's coming out on the 8th. It's going to pop. Especially if it's good. I'll know better on the 29th. You're going to know on the 23rd. We're going to hear the first reactions. Remember what I always tell you about first reactions, though, especially for those initial screenings, world premieres. Watch out, because a lot of times it's only focused on positive aspects of the film. You really want to get into those. I'm not saying every time, just saying watch out. Be a little leery. Now, if everyone's like, this thing is just absolutely perfection, that's different. But if you notice, just read the tweets, read the social reactions. You can read between the lines and go, wait a second, I don't know, this sounds good, but I don't know how good it is. Domestically, yeah, okay, yeah, domestically, I still don't know. I still think it might be Thor Love and Thunder. I do. I mean, listen, at this point, Maverick is going to be way up there. Dominion will be in there. We said that. Thor, Dominion, and Maverick. Those are your 3 films. Initially, I had it Thor, I had it Dominion, then I had it Maverick. Now I still have Thor, Maverick now, and then Dominion. But I mean, Maverick, at this point, just don't underestimate Maverick. It should hit $1 billion, Route 66. It opened in South Korea. So it absolutely will. Got to Los Angeles. So New York City, got to see a lot of ads for movies. But LA, yeah, we have more, JT. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Chris Gore entering the chat here tonight. When are you watching RRR? Let me tell you when. Never. Because of you. No, I'm kidding. I've heard RRR kicks ass. But he's seen it. How many times have you seen it? It's 3. Here's the problem. And tell me if you haven't done this before with a movie. When you find out the runtime of a film, and especially when you find out it's 3 hours, does that not all of a sudden change your thinking of like going, I don't know about this? When I tell you Phantom of the Open is like 97, maybe 107, you're more amenable to watching it. Versus if I tell you that Phantom of the Open is 3 hours and 15 minutes, you guys are, I don't want to see Phantom of the Open. So that's my question. Chris, I'll make you a deal. When you watch Phantom of the Open, I will watch RRR. That's the deal. I will make that deal tonight here on Midnight Movie Talk. Are you prepared to make that deal? My movie's a lot shorter than yours. David, again, any predictions on Bodies? A24's new Gen Z horror film that looks so much like Scream. My God, when I watched that, I'm like, did we just remake Scream? I mean, it's the exact same concept to me. I have heard some people that I've heard way mixed things on this. I'm talking someone who really hated it, and then someone who thought it was fun. I never heard it was like great, but certainly wow, like literally hate, and then it was fun. So that's a wide mix, right? Big vast chasm there between the two. I don't know. I mean, what's the date on Bodies? Let me pull it up. Hold on. I don't know let me pull up Box Office. I think Box Office Mojo has the best calendar. Let's pull it up and let's go through the dates. Let's do it. Share screen, stop screen. I wish StreamYard made it easier. I could just push one button. I've got to push like multiple buttons to get it up. Here we go. All right, domestic schedule. Boom, here it is. Okay, so we've got coming out. Let's go. We just got best this weekend. Lightyear is coming up this weekend along with Abandon from Vertical Entertainment. Okay, that is, I don't even know if is that even theatrical? Like, where is that showing? Again, Vertical Entertainment. I mean, listen, Vertical's very small. Here it is. This is the movie I'm seeing on Wednesday. Brian and Charles. I'm going to see Brian and Charles. It's about a guy who builds a robot. It's a British film. I don't know much about it other than that, except it's Focus, and I know I told you Focus makes good films. All right, let's go down. Nothing else. And then the 24th, Flux Gourmet. Oh, my God. First of all, when you talk about, I'm very excited to see this film, because of the director. When you go back and watch In Fabric, I'm forgetting his name right now, and it's going to come to me. Let me pull up the poster. It's going to be right in front of me. You can't pull up the poster. But In Fabric, I love In Fabric. It is such a weird horror film. It is whack. I think the first half is, oh my god, and the second half is not as strong. But really, the filmmaking of that film In Fabric has me very excited to see Flux Gourmet. Therefore, it's IFC. It's small. Okay, that's not a big film. Here we go. Black Phone on the 24th. Okay, so Black Phone's going to outperform, and then you have Elvis, which actually is really a nice combo because they're different, right? They're polar opposites. Really, you're talking about a horror film, and you're talking about Elvis in a film that's going to really do well with an older audience. And I think how Elvis is going to benefit from all this is Elvis is going to do well because of Maverick. Let me explain. Maverick, I've said it before, we're doing it again tonight, I'm explaining this to you, in the psychology of the everyday moviegoer. When they went to see Maverick, older people came out to see it. The woman next to me on that Thursday when I went to re-see the film again on opening night was 85 or more or older. She was old. And I look and I go, wow, this might be her first time in a movie theater in years. Now, you say, well, yeah, that's important. But okay, so here's the deal. So now that 85-year-old has gone to a movie and feels safe again, because remember, a lot of people didn't feel safe about COVID, and I understand that. And I respect however you feel about it. But for older people, they were the most leery to return. But now you have them coming out to see Maverick, and they're like, hey, I can go to a movie and I'll go see another movie, and they'll go see Elvis because it's just the right amount of time since Maverick, weeks, and they'll go back. So the older audience will come out for Elvis. Elvis and Black Phone are both going to do very well. That's a great date on both of those. You got Lightyear, which gives you a family film that has nothing to do with either Black Phone or Elvis, which are going to trend older. Black Phone will get a younger and I think older. I think it'll be a really nice blend audience on that Black Phone. But then Elvis is going to trend older. The question is, will the younger people come in? I can't wait to see Austin Butler in this film. The trailer tells me that this kid absolutely smashed Elvis. I mean, like straight up smashed it. And when I look at, I mean, I don't know how you're not looking at a Best Actor candidate when you look at that. Just basically looking at that performance. Okay, let's roll down. I've got it squeezed up a little bit here so you can see it. Minions after that, that's July 1st. And here's the thing about that. This is July 4th weekend and a little bit, before. Minions will do well because it's got just enough space from Lightyear. So it'll be just the right amount of time. I just saw the trailer for this, the Leonard Cohen documentary. It looked pretty good. That's another SPC movie. Again, SPC makes really strong films. Mr. Malcolm's List, I saw the trailer for that. I don't even know. What's the studio on that? Bleecker Street, okay. And then we've got Thor Love and Thunder, which is going to be, like I said, I think that's your movie of the summer. I think at the end of the day, we are going to be talking about Thor Love and Thunder as our film of the summer. I know some of you are going to say it's Maverick. I really feel like at this point it's going to be Thor. I'm still looking for Bodies. When is this? August? Hold on. Let's gun through this. Let's gun through the month of July. Give me a second. Roll back up. Again, I think this is I know there's lots of sites that have pretty solid release dates. I think this is pretty solid for me. I think they do a good job. Let's go to July. Box Office Mojo. Do I like the new redesign? No, I don't think any of us do, but, I still use it all the time. Let's roll down. Where the Crawdads Sing. Good luck, Sony Pictures, on that. That is not going to do well. The title, I don't care if it's a book. Where the Crawdads Sing. Do you want to see a movie? If you don't know anything about the book, let me just ask you. Do you want to watch a movie if I say, hey, do you want to go watch Where the Crawdads Sing? You say, hell no. I don't want to see Where the Crawdads Sing. That's why it's going to do bad. Bad title. Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank. Again, that's another movie I will not be watching. That's Paramount. Okay, I'm still looking. Bed Rest. What the hell is that? STX. Look, Bed Rest. It's STX, which, listen, STX, I mean, good Lord, that could be a whole stream. That's Inside Baseball. Inside Film, talking about STX for an hour. We'd have like one person watching from STX going, what's he saying about us? Bed Rest doesn't even have a poster. It's like, how do you not have a poster at this point? Look, it's like, where the hell is Bed Rest? Come on. Get your poster going there. All right, let's go. Nope on the 22nd. Really good spot for that. Nope is here's why Nope's gonna. I can tell you right now. Look, remember we talked about space. Nope has space. Nope has space away from the other films. So Nope sitting there on July 22nd, and it has nothing like right in front of it. Black Phone's the last like kind of horror, even though I know Nope is sort of horror, right? It's more sci-fi, I think, but it could be horror. We don't know. It's Jordan Peele. But let's assume it's more horror. You have space. You have space, which Universal has. They have both films, right? So Universal has provided enough space between Black Phone and Nope, which is really smart. Good job, Universal. You got that right. Let's go to the 29th. I'm still looking for bodies. Oh God, DC League of There it is. The movie I am not watching this film. You guys can't make me. I'm going to tell you right now. I don't care what you try to do. You cannot force me to watch DC League of Super Pets. I will not watch that film. I draw the line on certain films. One is super graphic, violent, like torture porn films, and two is DC League of Super Pets. These are the two things that I absolutely will not see. Torture porn and DC League of Super Pets. But if you really think about it, I think it's almost torture porn, isn't it? So they're really the same genre. DC League of Super Pets. Torture porn animation. Oh God, Warner Brothers is coming after me now. Sorry, guys. I love you, Warner. I just said you make the best trailers. What do you want? I mean, I can't say everything is great. I'd be a shill at that point. Oh, don't get me started on the shill stuff. Guys, you know I'm not a shill. You damn well know at this point I'm not a shill. I'm so bad at being a shill. If I don't like a film, I will walk right out of the premiere and go, this movie sucks ass. And they're like, oh, Eric, you're never coming back to one of our premieres again. I'm like, fine, I don't care. I'll go see it when it opens on Thursday night. I don't need you. Bullet Train, August 5th. Remember this. August is a shit month for movies. So the fact that Bullet Train is sitting there August is not a good sign. But I'll tell you, Sony's pushing it during the NBA Finals. It's like Bullet Train every other promo. All right, let's try. Still trying to find Untitled WB event film. It's not Popeye. What the hell is that? I don't know what that is. All right, someone tell me what that is. All right, one more. I'm still looking for It's got to be It's got to be late now. Hold on. Let's pull up August. Sorry. Then we're done. I'm not going to keep going. That's it. Let's just keep going through every month. No, I'm not going to do that. This is it. We're stopping in August. Okay, here we go. Bullet Train. August 12th. What the hell is this mess? Look at this. Look at August 12th. August sucks. Look, I told every August, the only movie that came out in August that was really strong and kicked ass. Who can answer it? I beat you to it. Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy was an August movie. Let's go. Nothing. Look at this weekend August 12th is a weekend that there's going to be no one at the movie theater. You go in and they'll be like, no, fall. I know they're trying to push this, but that's not going to be big for Lionsgate. Fall. I mean, it's like people stuck on a pole. Beast. I saw the trailer. That's not going to be a big film. You can just tell by looking at the trailer. It doesn't look like something. Fear. What the hell? Okay, that's it. August. In 3,000 Years of Longing, which is, it's a small film. Listen, August sucks. That's another thing. August is not a good month for movies, okay? Just know that. If a movie has an August release date, the chances are the movie is not good, okay? Again, I give you the one exception. Give me some more. But the one is Guardians of the Galaxy. That's very clearly. I don't see Bodies. I don't know when it's coming out to. All that looking for Bodies, and I still don't see it. Bryce Underwater, it's okay. It's okay. The scene was okay. I saw it in the trailer. I saw it in the ads. So I think I saw literally the whole scene was in a trailer. Didn't they do a whole trailer with just that? Oh, someone saw Hustle. Gone Girl. I told you, Gone Girl. Did I not tell you the movie's average? We sat here and talked about that film. I went to the premiere and I saw Adam Sandler and I saw LeBron James and all the NBA players. I went up to a player. So I was at the after party. I didn't tell you guys the Hustle story. I went to see Hustle, and it's always awkward when the movie's average. I go, this is an average movie. And it is 100% an average movie, but it could have been really good. But I'm sitting at the bar waiting for a vodka tonic, and there's this gigantic young, obviously a player, and I'm like, what team do you play for? He's like, I play for Charlotte Hornets. I go, I used to live in Charlotte. He's like, and then he said something, and I go, that town's so boring. And he looked at me and he goes, I love it there. And I'm like, oh, well then it's awesome. It was so awkward. So the Hustle after party is always an awkward situation when you're in here with all these people that are involved in the movie, and you're like, this movie is very mid. It's just, I think there's so many problems with Hustle. One of the main ones is that the screenplay is just not great. It's like a hybrid of Moneyball and Creed or Rocky, but let's just say Creed, okay? And so we use Creed and we use Moneyball, two very good films. I mean, Moneyball and Creed are two great films, frankly. Okay, sports films, no question. And you've got a hybrid that's not good. And how about Ben Foster's character in that film? It's not. I mean, Ben Foster's playing like almost like a straight out of a comic book. Like, what kind of villain are you? Like, this is not good. And Ben Foster's a very solid actor, but in this film, I don't know who wrote the character. The script is very one-dimensional too. It's very, very flat. So I'm glad you thought the same thing. It's unfortunate because Netflix has a lot of films that are just end up being kind of not as good as they should be. All right, just a little bit longer. Remember, we only do Midnight Movie Talk for an hour. You guys are pushing me past the limit here. We're almost 10 minutes over. A few more minutes, we're going to wrap. Kevin Davis, summer box office. You got Thor 1, good. Maverick 2, yes. Doctor Strange 3, not summer, okay? So, Kevin, I got to pull that out. Doctor Strange is not summer, it's spring. But, I don't know. Does it bleed into that? I don't think so. Because of the release date, which was, what was it? God, what was it, May? Oh, my God. Is that considered summer? I don't think it is. Jurassic Dominion, Batman, again, too early. You're just saying for the whole... I think at this point you're talking about really the whole year. Because, Thor, Maverick, and Jurassic Park Dominion are the only ones, other than Lightyear. Lightyear, Minions. Okay, so there you go. Those are your summer films. So I think in that order you'd have it as Thor, Maverick, Dominion, Lightyear, and Minions. I think that's good. I think it's good. But by the way, don't think that... Watch all of a sudden Minions will end up putting up some crazy number. Because that is a franchise that hasn't had a film, if I'm not mistaken, since 2017, right? Wasn't that Despicable Me 3? Was that the last one? Was Minions before? I get lost. There's just too many. Okay, but here's the reason I bring it up. It's been 5 years. If I'm right about 2017, Despicable Me 3, someone tell me if I'm wrong, 2017. That's 5 years. 5 years is a good amount of time for people to get like, oh, I want to watch the Minions again. The problem is when you have Minions in like 2015, I believe, and then you had Despicable Me 3, you've got two movies really almost back to back, and people go, that's exactly here. Okay, you know what happened to Solo? It's very simple. Everyone goes, what happened to Solo? The same thing that happened to Minions and Despicable Me 3. Both films kind of, well, I think Minions did better. But whenever you have two of the same franchise, when you look at Solo, literally 5 months or less after Skywalker, right? It was whatever. It was right up against whatever. God, maybe it was Skywalker. Maybe it was the second one. Maybe it was Jedi. I think it was Jedi. Okay, sorry. I don't have... Chris Gore's going to be like all over me going, you have them out of order. Here's the bottom line. Solo was released 5 months after, I believe, Jedi now, okay? Please, you guys are going to like bite my head off. You said it wasn't the wrong... We're talking about Solo. We're talking about practice, man. Practice. Solo. So... when you look at Solo, it's like you can't put out 2 Star Wars movies in 5 months, okay? That's a mistake, and Disney learned it. Disney was on this awesome Christmas Star Wars thing. It was kicking ass. Rogue One worked for them. Last Jedi worked for them. I'm talking box office-wise. You can say the film, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But when they got off that Christmas thing, that was a mistake, and Solo paid the price. It was too soon. Too soon for 2 movies. Imagine if they had like a Jurassic... I understand Star Wars is bigger. But imagine if they had a Jurassic World movie in 5 months. Would anyone go? Like Raptors? Just call it Raptors. No one would go. Elvis might be spectacular, but could hit Batman territory. I don't think so. No. I don't know about that. Is it 3 or is it 2:30? Is it almost 3? The runtime's going to be an issue, and certainly Elvis is nowhere near a 4-quad film. Batman is much closer to a 4-quad film because of the fact that it's it's DC, and even though it's got the serial killer, Riddler, very grounded, David Fincher, I know Reeves, but Fincher, Seven situation kind of thing, you eliminate kids, but it's still closer to a 4-quad film than Elvis. Right? Elvis is not a 4-quad film. It's like 2. It's really older. It's young. It's men and women older. So I don't know if it's even 2-quad. So Elvis is not going to put up these crazy numbers. No. Forget the runtime, okay, Nick? Just from a pure all-in audience availability, it's not going to be there. All right, we will do 5-minute lightning round. Here we go. 5 minutes here, and then 5-minute warning. Then we're going to call it, and we're going to be back here on Tuesday. David, again, I still need to watch In Fabric. In Fabric is fantastic. If you have not watched In Fabric, there's your homework. 1, watch Marcel the Shell. Okay, that's your homework tonight, the trailer, if you have not. And pay attention to the audio mixing, the sound mixing on Bring Me Home. When they pop it up on the perfect audio edit out of the actual film and then into the song, that is perfection, and it's another reason why that trailer kicks ass. In a theater, it's like, it just pops. But In Fabric is really great. What the hell is his name? Peter Strickland. I think it's Peter Strickland. Did I just come up with that? I did not look, I swear. Peter Strickland, I believe. What a hell of a director. He makes really cool, weird films. And I understand In Fabric's not for everybody, trust me. But In Fabric is a much better film than Crimes of the Future. If we're going to talk about weird, horror-esque films, In Fabric kicks the shit out of Crimes of the Future. And guess what? More people have seen Crimes of the Future, which is criminal. Because In Fabric kicks ass. There's your homework. Watch In Fabric and pay attention to that score. Caverns of Antimatter, I believe, is the group. And they were in some other group, Electro. That score is... Oh my God, the score for that film, for In Fabric, if I ever make a weird film, I'm calling up Caverns of Antimatter. You are going to score this film. It is another reason why In Fabric kicks ass, but it's also Strickland, and that that title sequence is just lights out filmmaking. Go watch In Fabric if you haven't seen it. August 5th is Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Okay, thank you, Aaliyah. I didn't see it. It's not listed there, which is really weird. It's a good date. You know, I'll tell you this. A24 loves summer films. They put 8th Grade out in the summer. They put, obviously, Hereditary, I believe, was a summer release. So was Midsummer. A lot of these films, they like to hit that alt crowd in the summer. And look what they're going to do with Marcel coming out in 2 weeks. Again, I'll see it tomorrow. We'll talk about it on Tuesday. Again, no spoilers. You know, I don't ever give spoilers, except Marcel's a shell and he's looking for his family. You've seen the trailer, okay? Yeah, someone said this, Everett. This is so funny. Paws of Fury's animated Blazing Saddles. Someone said that, and I go, oh my God, it is. But it doesn't look funny, though. I mean, like, the fart jokes? I mean, okay, I'm not 8, but it's not funny. There we go. Yeah, August 5th. Okay, thank you for going directly there. Hustle was great. JT, come on, man. Come on. JT, man, you know, much love about it. But listen, not a great film. It could have been great. Those are the worst films. The worst films are the ones that could have been better. And you see it on the screen, you go, oh my God, you have the pieces. You have Adam Sandler doing a pretty good job. I don't think it's as good as Uncut Gems as far as his performance, but it's solid. I think the guy, the basketball player, Spanish dude, really solid. But as far as the film, it could have been way stronger. And I think those are the most disappointing films, ultimately. Oh, here we go, another August movie, Hobbs and Shaw. I love Hobbs and Shaw. For what it is, okay? For what it is, Hobbs and Shaw kicks the shit out of any of the last Fast and Furious. The last good Fast and Furious was it 7, where they part ways, Paul Walker. What a beautiful film that is, and what a touching and just perfect way to close that out with the tragedy of Paul Walker. But really, Hobbs and Shaw just smokes. I mean, if it's a 0 to 60, Hobbs and Shaw is across the line, and the other car's like literally just gone. The muffler fell out. I mean, and the engine. Elvis is 239. There you go. 239 is more manageable. Anytime you get 3. Hey, listen, if RRR was 239, I'd watch it. Stop pushing this film. You know what's funny? It's like when someone keeps telling you to do something, you're like, no, I'm not going to do it. That's what I am with RRR. I will watch it, I think. But it's so true. Your homework is not to watch RRR, though. I heard it's good. Watch In Fabric, please, for me. And then come back and tell me what you think of In Fabric. It's such a weird, cool fucking movie. Get Out or Us? Us, no question about it. All right, we're almost done. I guess it said 5-minute warning. We're almost there. Saw Dumbledore last weekend. Yeah, right, Nick? Oh, my God. What a great bring your pillow to the theater and take a nap film. There you go, with a bunch of hyphens in between that. That is literally what a snooze fest of a film, Dumbledore. Definitely will be on one of my worst films of the year. I mean, it has to be there, along with Crimes of the Future, Men, Dumbledore. These are all bad films for many very different reasons, but they're all bad. Homework tonight, watch In Fabric. And I'll see you back here Tuesday for the talk of Marcel the Shell. 0 spoilers. And whatever else you want to talk about, whatever's going on in the world. Again, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe. We'll see you back here on Tuesday. Good night. Midnight Movie Talk is off the air.